Okay, let's kick off, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. It's the final webinar for 2018 here at CreditorWatch. So we're doing a bit of an annual review. I'm going to touch on, a number of new products that we've released, some features as well, and also just have a really quick recap of our existing products. Some of the feedback we've got over the year from, both long-term and short-term customers is that they sometimes, if they miss an email, a newsletter, a webinar, they don't always know about all of the, products, either new or existing ones that they may not have been told about when they initially signed up. We'll also just have a look at, some of the wins that we've had for the year as well. So I appreciate you joining us. We are very much into that home straight of finishing for the year. I'm looking forward to a couple of weeks off, and I hope everyone else listening gets the chance to have some time off, if not now, at least in the near future as well. So quick agenda, I've kind of touched on that already. New products launched, major feature releases, existing product recap, and some CreditorWatch wins for the year as well. So the big new products that we launched over the last 12 months are what I just wanted to focus on briefly here, looking at specifically Bankruptcy Plus, our additional searches and services that we have on offer. The DataWatch, we've had DataWatch for a number of years, but we invested a lot of time and money into producing a new one, which gives you a lot more insight than it previously did. And then the two more recent releases as well, which is Adverse Cross Directorship Alerts, and of course PPSR Logic, which we've been giving quite a bit of love to of late. And if you feel it was over the top, we apologise, but obviously coming to the end of January is the big renewal period for the majority of people's registration. So that's why we've been hammering it home as much as possible. So let's look at Bankruptcy Plus first. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these things. I just really want to refresh memories for those of you who may have joined us previously for a webinar or engaged in any of our newsletters or articles. And also for those of you not familiar with any of these products, it's a nice little teaser for you. And please just get in contact. All of these buttons are clickable once we send them through, or the best thing you can do is just contact CreditorWatch Direct or your account manager. So Bankruptcy Plus was something that was in the making for a number of years for CreditorWatch, and ultimately in the end we got the support of the Australian Financial Security Authority, or APSA, and CreditorWatch now has full access to both the historical bankruptcy database and new bankruptcies on a daily basis. I think we're getting that either on a 15-minute cycle. So anytime there is something new that goes into the APSA database, we're getting access to that. And what this ultimately is, it's a separate subscription on top of your normal CreditorWatch monthly or annual subscription, and it's proactively flagging possible bankruptcies, previous bankruptcies, current bankruptcies, both within commercial credit reports themselves, but also allowing you to perform searches on individuals as well. So it's essentially allowing you to better understand the people behind the business. So if I jump into CreditorWatch, we have a look at a sole trader. We're flagging them as high, and the big call out here is a possible bankruptcy found. So if we jump in there, we can actually see a little bit more information about the bankruptcy itself. We can see that the individual is an undischarged bankrupt. So really good to know, especially in this case, when dealing with a individual sole trader. If we look at a commercial entity, a company, we can see that this director has been flagged as a possible bankrupt, and we can have a look. Debtor put forward a proposal to creditors for consideration, Part 9 of the Bankruptcy Act. So you get a little bit more information. You get quite a bit of information. This guy's under a debt agreement. Really important to know who the people are behind the business and companies. Great that you can look into, directors as well as sole traders and individuals. And to take it a step further, if you're only interested in looking at one specific person, you can actually do that check via the search tool here. Okay, so put the details in and you'll get those similar results that I just showed you there. So a really great way to have a look at the individuals. Jumping back in, The next big thing that we launched to look at today is additional searches and services. So CreditorWatch was acquired by InfoTrack last year in September, and as part of that acquisition, we integrated with their award-winning search portal. They've got over 4,500 different searches, services, reports within their platform. We now have access to that via CreditorWatch, and the ones that are most relevant we find to our customer base are things like land titles, property valuation, international reports, a full suite of reports around KYC, AML, PEP, sanctions. There's police checks, and there's much more as well. So I encourage our corporate users, so at the moment only available to those being invoiced rather than on credit card. We're looking to produce a solution for credit card subscribers. But if you are a credit card subscriber and you are interested, please still get in contact and we can arrange to move you to a corporate subscription if that is, something that you need to access. Where do we find that? I hear you asking. Again, from anywhere within CreditorWatch, click on here. You can see the various other searches that are available. Land titles, for example, international reports, KYC, PEP. By clicking on that, it's taking you directly into the InfoTrack portal where you can start to access all the additional searches that they have within their portal as well. Okay. Those ones are charged on a transactional basis, so not included in your subscription. However, there is no additional fee to access that information. Jumping into our data wash, again, another one that was released earlier this year. And ultimately, the feedback came from clients that what we were providing was great, but it would be even better if we had a nice, PDF to go with the results that were provided in the CSV form, for example. So data wash, the importance of that, ensure your database is up to date for better due diligence. In today's world, data is really key. We get so much of it. And more often than not, it's either poorly organised or not kept up to date. So the data wash essentially is going to cleanse your database and will perform key tasks such as data matching, validation, and standardisation. There's a wide variety of options within this general data wash term that we have, or product that we have. We can do simple things like matching and appending missing ABNs and ACNs. We can verify ABNs and ACNs and business names as well. We can append ASIC information, so, business names, directors, shareholders, addresses. Identify, obviously, customer credit risk and existing high-risk actions that might be present within your portfolio or within your database. A big one that's been very popular of late is preparing, your portfolio or your customer base for bulk PPSR lodgement and renewals. So we can get that, ensure that we've got the correct ABN, ACN, or in the case of sole traders, names, date of birth, that sort of thing. And we can use that to bulk upload into our new PPSR product and get all the registrations done in one quick go. The other two big ones are obviously annual customer reviews that a lot of companies do nowadays, and also just updating your database in general, making sure that names, addresses, ABNs, ACNs, etc. are all correct and up to date. It's a great way to then transition that into your marketing and sales teams, because if they're better provided with quality data, they're more likely to see better quality acquisitions and conversions down the track if they can go after exactly who they know to be a customer or a prospect for those sort of purposes. Adverse cross-directorship alerts. This was released fairly recently. We break the year up into thirds. So last third, which was July, August, September, October, those 4 months, was released then. Ultimately, what this is doing is looking at not just, CreditorWatch has always been strong in providing information around the companies that you're monitoring, keeping you up to date with those changes. Where this is really important and valuable and critical for every business really is that we'll keep an eye on the directors other businesses. Okay, so we've got it written out fairly succinctly here. When the director of a company you are monitoring has an adverse action registered against another one of their companies, you will receive an email alert. Okay, changes include court actions, payment defaults, insolvency notices, mercantile inquiries, and status changes. So why is that important? Well, ultimately, if you're dealing with one business, which is the best, or the business that's doing the best, has a positive cash flow, that sort of thing, but the rest of the businesses around that empire or that holding company, for example, start to fall apart and crumble, you should want to know about that, because it's only a matter of time before that company that you're doing business with starts to feel the pinch and is likely to follow suit. So a few stats here: a director with a payment default is 5 times more likely to experience another one. A director with a court action, 2 times more likely to have another one. And a director with a failed business is 2 times more likely to fail again. So really important bits of information there is to find out if the directors you're doing business with have existing struggling companies, not just previously failed ones that you would usually see within a credit report. Again, separate subscription here, so please do get in contact if there is interest there. PPSR Logic is the big one, our bright new shiny thing that I love, and the customers that are using it at the moment as well are sharing similar feedback. It's in my opinion, and the opinion of everyone we're speaking to as well, it's certainly the leading PPSR platform in the market. And why that's the case? Basically, CreditorWatch doesn't do anything by half measures. We certainly see ourselves as a technology company first and foremost. We just happen to be operating in that credit risk management space. We built all the basics, by working closely with, existing stakeholders, PPSR, that sort of thing. But then what we did is we went out to the market and we said, you're using a competitor's platform. What do you love that's in that? Then we would build that. What is missing that's in that platform? And ultimately we built that as well. So what we're finding is we've got all the best features and all the missing pieces of the puzzle that don't exist in a single platform elsewhere in Australia. Easy to use, bulk importing, existing registrations, view those at any time within your dashboard, see which existing registrations are coming up for renewal, really important. Integrates importantly with ApplyEasy, our online credit application, though that is an optional extra. Bulk registrations, automated reminders, compliant and accurate. So please, again, contact us or jump on the blog. There's plenty of resources available around webinars, videos, articles that have been written. And of course, we've got PPSR Paul, who's our in-house specialist, at the ready for you as well. So that's the majority of the big releases that we had. I'll just touch on, probably our 3 other main products aside from CreditorWatch itself. ApplyEasy, DataLogic Plus, and also API integration. So ApplyEasy has been around with CreditorWatch now for 5 or 6 years. We've got probably 1,000 plus users, 1,000 plus companies out there using ApplyEasy as their credit application form. So they've done away with the need for paper-based forms and they've moved online with CreditorWatch. It really is a transformation that should be occurring in every company out there as much as possible. It doesn't mean that it has to replace 100% of your paper-based application form. So we're typically finding it does 80 to 90%. You're always going to have certain individuals or customers out there who don't want to use a computer, for example, or the website to register or to do a credit application. So those people can still be managed with a paper-based form if necessary. However, the majority of people will move over onto it. And the benefits are just enormous. Simple ones like automating credit reporting, credit decisioning, and entity verification in real time. All of this is in real time. Eliminating illegible handwriting and blank answers. People going through a paper-based form, just either put a red line through a question or just avoid it altogether. Simple, practical solution for that. Shorten the sales cycle. We typically find that companies are, able to receive an application, process it, approve it within a day, and then improve the sales and customer service. So off the back of the sales cycle being shortened, we're seeing it increase in sales, and also an improvement in customer service as well. DataLogic Plus, this is our trade program that relies on you uploading a copy of your age trial balance, your age receivables. Something that we probably haven't pushed as much in 2018. However, certainly something that is still being used by the majority of our companies out there, generally corporate customers who wouldn't be using a Xero or MYOB online accounting platform. Some of the benefits here: discover how customers are paying other suppliers. It's something that we get asked a lot. Where they want to find out how are my existing customers, paying other suppliers? Are they using me as a bank, and paying everyone else quickly and dragging me out, or are they starting to, struggle to make payments to other suppliers out there, and I just happen to be the lucky one? It's really important to see those slower payments coming. Deteriorating or delinquent payment is certainly a leading indicator of a debtor's journey to administration. It allows you to respond to those changing payment trends, so you can actually see them, visualize them, and you can help prioritize your collections as well. So for those of you who haven't seen the dashboard that exists for DataLogic, you get to see how you're being paid across the market, with certain things like appending a credit score and payment predictor to every single one of your customers. You can then jump in, for example, to have a look at, I'm being paid fairly well, but it's a terrible credit score for all of the companies within this particular bucket. That opens up, you can actually see all of the companies that are pre-populating into that particular bucket. Okay, so we can see 4 companies. We can also see exactly how much they owe us from the most recent age trial balance that was uploaded. So really valuable information there. An added bonus of that is you actually get a credit score and a payment predictor appended to every single one of your credit reports. So no matter who you look at, whether they're a customer or not, when you run a credit report, payment predictor and credit score is included. API. So for those businesses out there who like automation, regardless of whether you're big or small or tech savvy or not, it's actually a really simple process to go through to integrate CreditorWatch into your ERP, CRM, or third-party platform. You're going to see almost instant benefits once you put a little bit of time in, and typically we see people able to roll out an API in a week or 2, depending on whether they have internal IT resources or not. You're just eliminating manual data entry. You're increasing the speed at which you can get the data into your system, thereby opening accounts faster or getting products out the door quicker, reducing admin costs by a huge amount, and eliminating human errors for that data entry piece as well. So we can integrate, or you can integrate, a number of products into your third-party system or ERP. Monitoring and alerts can be put in there, which is really important. So that means when you open an account, you're adding them to monitoring immediately. If an important email alert comes through, you're able to put them on hold, for example, stop a shipment going out the warehouse, stop services, stop them from having access to, your website, for example. Really important to be quick when those types of, adverse actions take place. You can pull credit reports, scores, payment predictors, ASIC data straight into your system as well. Importantly, what's good is you can get the raw data itself to populate your third-party system, but then you can also get a copy of the PDF, for example. Okay, so you can store that on file. So you've got that time-stamped PDF of the credit report, for compliance, accuracy purposes, but also to look back and go, well, these guys, have been good, have been bad, indifferent. Let's have a look at how they started with us. Why did we open the account in the first place? PPSR searches and registration, also available via integration, and then ApplyEasy as well. So that's a really big one. Every time you approve an account, for example, you could be sending that data, all of the applicant's data, straight through into your CRM system to open the account within that platform as well. So really good win efficiency gain there for you. So just touching on some other, I guess, features that we've released or that we're working on throughout the year and still working on. Credit inquiries we released fairly recently to allow you to see the types of businesses industry-wise that are looking at companies. So you can see that within the credit report. You can also see a nice trend as to how often that particular company is being looked at. Are they seeing an upward trend of inquiries of late? Was there a spike? Is it fairly constant? Are they going backwards? That sort of thing. It all helps piece together the ultimate puzzle of whether you should be opening an account for them or not. Payment defaults. We had a massive agenda of increasing the number of payment defaults that are registered within the platform, and we've actually doubled the number. So we worked to our June number, and September, October, November has consistently doubled that original June number, which is huge. And we're continuing to invest in products, features, automation to make it easier for people to register payment defaults. At the end of the day, that's a hugely unique proposition for us. Really important data for you guys and our customers to be able to see, more and more defaults coming through via, email alerts or when you're looking at credit reports. We continue to innovate and update ApplyEasy off the back of customer feedback. We recently introduced ATO corporate tax transparency data. Website speed, ongoing, a lot of time and effort being put into website speed across the board, not just the credit reports, but the dashboard as well. The more data, the more customers we have using it. Obviously, the more we have to work towards improving that, and that is an ongoing KPI for our dev team. For our online customers, we've introduced a profile progress bar, which it's ultimately aimed at aiding all users to get the most out of CreditorWatch. So particularly for a newer user who signs up to CreditorWatch, we want to get them to run a credit report. We want to get them to monitor a business, generate a debt collection tool, order a credit score, that sort of thing. So taking them through the fairly basic steps of using CreditorWatch. We've improved the integration with Xero and MYOB, so it's a little bit more stable. Improve the speed at which the data comes through, backwards and forwards between us and the accounting software. And as I touched on before, more unique data, particularly from and on SMEs, is being sourced at the moment. So that's a big thing for us that we're focusing on and will do for the next 12 months, especially. Some notable wins in 2018. Staff growth. We've had about a 50% headcount growth over the last 12 months. And we've actually probably aiming to do that in the next 6 months as well. So that obviously explains that, business is going really well. We're investing heavily, not just in sales as well. We're focusing a lot in account management and also in our development team too. Recently, the AICM Pinnacle Awards were on. For those of you who aren't familiar, the AICM is the Australian Institute of Credit Management. So that's where the majority of our credit managers and people within, credit exist as members. Matt Jackson, our General Manager of Sales, was the winner of the AICM New South Wales Consultant of the Year. Adam Mercurio and Jason Sutherland were also up for awards as well. Obviously, PPSR Logic was a big one for us. And something else that we did this year was started supporting a couple of charities. One was the Sir David Martin Foundation, and you would have seen some posts or emails regarding a number of our staff abseiling down I believe it was the AMP building, 30, 40, 50, I'm not sure, I didn't do it, you won't catch me up there, but 30 or 40, 50 stories, abseiling down to raise money for youth at risk. And then also for Christmas, we're doing something with the Sydney Children's Hospital, and that is around getting presents, new presents. I've got a picture here somewhere. Here we go. CreditorWatch. This year, the Sydney CreditorWatch office has a special tree dedicated to the 4-week project So this is a charitable initiative run by Lawrence Stander at Labour Solutions Group and Bryony from Bryony's Hair. The charity collects toys for 4 weeks before Christmas and delivers them to seriously ill children at the Sydney Children's Hospital. So we're looking for as many people and workplaces as possible to please get involved. The only rule is that toys must be brand new, obviously for safety reasons. So please get in contact either with myself via LinkedIn or by calling CreditorWatch, CreditorWatch Direct, or jump onto LinkedIn and you will see that there is a link through to Lawrence Stander and a little bit more information there. There's a lot more toys since we took that picture. So I'm really looking forward to obviously delivering those toys to Lawrence and his team to deliver that onto the Sydney Children's Hospital. So please do get involved if you can, and we'll certainly be promoting more of these charitable initiatives over the next year as well once we come back. So final poll question for the year. Obviously, it's a really busy time for everyone, for CreditorWatch, for you guys, for everyone out there. So if you are interested in hearing from an account manager about anything that I've spoken about today, please get in contact. Just a yes, and we'll get in contact. No thanks, we won't bug you. We'll let you be for December until we're back on the phones, obviously, in January. But, you know, we've run through quite a bit today. So if there is anything that you are interested in and would like to hear from someone at CreditorWatch, please select yes. And if you'd rather just call us up straight after this webinar ends in the next couple of minutes, that's also fine as well. So thank you to everyone who voted. Not that it's really a vote. And that, ladies and gentlemen, takes us to the end of our final webinar for the year. I just wanted to say thank you if you joined us today, and if you've joined us, you know, in other webinars throughout the year. I appreciate, you know, a big special thanks to all our customers for your ongoing support. I'm looking forward to having a break, coming back refreshed next year. Plenty more features, more data that we will be delivering on. So everyone, please have a Merry Christmas and a very safe and happy New Year. And we'll chat to you in 2019. Thanks very much.